Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I will be doing a movie review on the movie Jack the Giant Slayer. So yeah, for those who haven't seen the movie, I recommend you stop, pause this video, watch it on Netflix or buy the DVD or rent it or whatever, however you guys prefer. Then come back and watch this review because this review may contain some spoilers for those who are intending to watch it. So yeah, so Jack the Giant Slayer is basically a movie adaptation of the popular fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. A quick synopsis of that would be, a kid goes to sell his cow or horse, comes back with some magic beans. He plants them, a beanstalk comes up. He goes up to Beanstalk, basically meets this giant that basically wants to eat him or harm him. He gets some gold from the from the giant head, comes down, somehow manages to cut the beanstalk, and sometimes manages to kill the giant, depending what the ending could may or may not have the death of the giant. Whatever, that's basically a quick synopsis of that fairy tale. Now, given that this basically has an extra twist to it, it's a bit more darker and a bit more comedic at the same time. I mean, that would be basically a quick synopsis of the movie, but a more in-depth synopsis would be that the kid does go to the market, into the palace or whatever, sells his horse for some beans, or gets tricked into. He basically meets the princess of the palace because she just comes because she seems to be running away from something, or as she says, coming to an adventure or whatever. He accidentally plants them because of the arguments he had with his uncle uncle, and he drops them. He doesn't pick them up, or not all of them. They get wet. The beanstalk goes up with the princess. The next day, him and a couple of the knights go up. Some of the knights include the fiance, the fiance's best man or best friend, and the best knight, two of the best knights, and five other random extras and Jack. And so yeah, so the princess, she gets kidnapped by the giants. They basically after they while climbing up the beanstalk, they lost four of the men. No, nothing. And Roderick, who will be the fiance, he and his best man or best friend or whatever, I forget his name. I know it starts with like a W. I think it's like Wilkins or Watkins or something like that. Him, he splits up with another guy that was just there, who managed to survive, and he basically kills him because he wants to, because that's the type of person he is. He's a douchebag. So yeah, and so on the other team, since they split up, Jack Elmont, who was the other, one of the top guards, and Crawe, I believe was his name, or Cray, so Cross, something like that. Crawe, I don't know. He also he was the other best knight there. They manage to somehow find the giants. They get two of them, the two best knights, get kidnapped. One of them gets eaten in the process. They find Isabel, which is the princess. Jack saves them. Roger comes because he has this special crown from King Arthur or something. It's really weird. King Arthur's knight and ring or crown or whatever. You have to know a little bit of history, European history for this. Yeah. Where was I? He basically is a douchebag. His friend already at this point got eaten. Because the giants, Roderick goes up there, says he's king. They're gonna invade the palace. Isabel manages to escape with Jack on the next day, and Elmont basically stays there to duke it out with Roderick. He eventually does kill Roderick. Then Isabel and Jack manage to somehow get down, from the Beanstalk. Um, and yeah, basically after that, after a couple of scenes, you see a huge battle insinuate between the giants and the people at the palace. Elmont manages to get back. He manages to get back into the palace. So there's Jack, Isabel, and they're basically trying to kill the giants. And it's pretty cool. The whole battle sequence was pretty cool. Where was I? And Jack eventually gets the crown. Tells the giants to go back up to Beanstalk and stay there. And then after that, you get to see Britain or London at time right now with the camera zooming out to see the giant's palace or place or where they're living now. Yeah, I honestly thought that this was a pretty good movie. I mean, it does feature Stanley Tucci as the antagonist, which is Roderick. Then you have some other, I wouldn't say big name actors, but some pretty decent actors, such as Nicholas Hoult as Jack, and Eleanor Thomason, I believe was her name, as Isabel, and then I forget the other guy's name. I think it was like Evan McGorge or something like that. Let me switch it up. Ewan McGregor was Elmont. And then you have a bunch of other that's basically the top four cast for this whole movie. Yeah, I like this movie. I mean, it did have this dark yet comedic twist to the movie, which made it very interesting. Some parts weren't really as good as they could have been, but the ending was amazing. That whole battle. I just wish it could have been a little bit more dramatic. For some reason, I didn't like the Isabel's father in the movie, the king. I wish he could have died for whatever reason. There's also this one monk who gave the beans to Jack. I really didn't like him either. I wish he could have died because he was shown at the end too. I don't know if they actually show his death, but I kind of wish he would have died for whatever reason. I mean, some of the characters weren't as good as they could have been. I mean, Roderick's best man, yeah, I was right, Crawe. No, not Crawe. That was the other night. His best man, Wick. Yeah, that guy. He was kind of creepy. He was kind of weird. I didn't like him. Good. I think it was a good idea that they killed him. I mean, some of the characters were kind of awkward, but top four characters for this movie, which would be Roderick, Elmont, Isabel, and Jack, they were portrayed good, in my opinion, and yeah. I mean, the special effects for this movie were also pretty cool. They're awesome. Especially for giants and anything else. I mean, such as maybe some of the weapons the giants used or anything like that. That was also pretty cool to see on. I mean, that CGI was amazing, one of the best for any movie. And yeah. Some parts were suspenseful, which was good in my opinion, especially for this kind of darker movie. I mean, it wasn't really dark, but it was dark to an extent. I just wish they could have had a little bit more comedy at some parts, but the darkness was good on its on its own. So yeah. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to put this at 8.15. So 8.15. And I mean that's really because I mean it's dark and I like the twist they did with with the movie and the the kind of not diversion but giving it more density or or more beef or whatever however you want to say it to the to the to the fairy tale. I like that they give it more support or beef, made it more interesting. It did have some problems, like some scenes were kind of iffy, and most of the characters were kind of awkward, you know. But besides that, the CGI was amazing, and the top four characters in this movie were done excellent, and not that good stuff. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, as I said before, 8.15 is what I would score it. I recommend you get this movie. It's pretty good, and yeah. So this is Daniel Mart. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do. I said do. I do. Uh, I do other movie reviews. You know. You can just check them out if you want to also review TV shows and comics and all that other good stuff. And yeah. So subscribe. Comment below on your thoughts on this movie and this video. If you've already seen the movie, comment below on your thoughts on the movie. Did you like it? Do you think the score should have been less than 8.15 or better than 8.15 and tell you the reason why? And sorry. And yeah, so comment below on your thoughts on this video and the movie. Share on Instagram, Vine, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, or whatever you guys prefer. It's all up to you. Share about tell about my channel and all that. Say on Facebook or Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Share my channel and all that good stuff. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about me. This is Daniel Mart signing off.